Nation state is a very closely woven unit, especially the modern concept of a nation state. Viewers, it has geographic continuity, it has cultural contiguity. Sometimes it also has linguistic contiguity. Of course, viewers, in the case of India, the nation state is a pastiche. Though there is cultural contiguity and geographical contiguity, there is no linguistic contiguity. But that doesn't mean, viewers, that the Indian nation state is in any way not homogeneous as any other in the world. Now, viewers, we all know, however, that the character of a nation state can undergo dramatic change. And this change, viewers, can sometimes be affected because of demographic changes. Demography, after all, viewers, is destiny. And in the past, there have been many instances where the character of a nation state has undergone dramatic change because of the influx of people who have come from different parts. Now, viewers, India remains an importantly interwoven nation state, predominantly because of its Hindu majority, which is essentially an extremely tolerant majority. It is made up of groups of Hindus that are extremely tolerant of each other's cultures, of each other's traditions. Not only each other, but also the traditions of the citizens that subscribe to other religions, viewers. And this is what marks us out in the Comity of Nations as a country, as an entity, as a civilizational contiguity. Viewers, but I will talk to you tonight about nations that have undergone changes dramatically because their demography has changed. Because, viewers, either they have been overrun by invaders or, viewers, by the influx of illegal migrants or even immigrants, legal immigrants. Think about Lebanon, viewers. In the past, Lebanon was an exclusively Christian country. But because of the influx, and some of these, a majority of these were illegal, Palestinians and Syrian emigres, the demographics so changed that the Christian majority in what was once called the Paris of the East became a minority, viewers. And that led to huge tumultuous changes, not only in governance, but also in the manner in which the country saw itself, its culture, its politics, and it also led to, of course, feuds. Some of them were feuds, viewers, of an irreconcilable nature. This has happened in the Balkans in recent times. And, viewers, it has happened in Cyprus, where the indigenous and the Greeks have had problems. Now, viewers, Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, has come out and warned that the same might actually be happening on a large scale in India and certain provinces. Viewers, we don't have to stretch our imagination too much. You know what happened, for example, in Kashmir. There, viewers, the Hindu minority was not treated too kindly. I'll come to all of that in just a few moments. Mr. Amit Shah came out and said very, very clearly that this is happening on an industrial scale, in fact, in India. And he went on to say, in particular regard to Jharkhand, that if infiltration remains unchecked, illegal immigrants will become the majority in Jharkhand in the coming 25 to 30 years. Can Hemant Soren, the Chief Minister, stop it? Will Congress stop this influx of illegal immigration, infiltration? These infiltrators happen to be the vote bank of JMM and Congress. BJP will drive out Rohingyas and illegal Bangladeshis from Jharkhand. They are destroying our culture. They are encroaching upon our land. They are engaging in fake marriages with our daughters. They are killing opportunities for local employment. Of course, viewers, Soren, the Chief Minister, has denied these claims by Mr. Amit Shah. He says that Mr. Amit Shah, the RSS, the BJP are all in it only to create sectarian strife between Hindus and Muslims, tribals and Muslims who are living very peacefully in Jharkhand. By talking about majorities and minorities, this troika of Shah, RSS and BJP are sowing the seeds of discord, and there is no such illegal influx in Jharkhand. In fact, he says to the public that they must keep out rats like the RSS and the BJP cadre who are going to come around in election season playing on these fears. But in the same breath, Soren also has blamed Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, saying that there is no problem here in Jharkhand. If there is a problem at all, it's in Bengal, go see there. Now, Hemant Soren, viewers, has said this, and let me quote him. They talk about changing demography and Bangladeshi infiltrators. I would like to tell them to look at the data, go and see what data is in Bengal, then see the data of various districts in Jharkhand, and you will find that there is no change in demography here. But viewers, think about it. The change in demography has actually been documented in both Bengal and Jharkhand. There is an element here, viewers, of suppression of the truth, of the hard facts. Let me just put it like that. Because if you really look at the 2011 census, and that's the last one, and viewers, dramatic changes have taken place. If you just do basic math on some of these trends, you can only imagine what could have happened by 2021 when the last survey was supposed to have been conducted, but it has still not been conducted, viewers. Of course, there's a whole different story for that, and that's another debate for another time. But viewers, the numbers from 2011 showed dramatic changes. This is Jharkhand, 1951 to the left of your screens. Tribals were 36% of the population. They're down by 10%. Sanatani Hindus were at 87.9%. They're down by 6% or so. Muslims have increased, viewers, by 5% there. Let's look at the next chart on your screens, viewers. And I am going to draw your attention now to the Santhal Parganas, which is Bengal-Jharkhand border. Here, viewers, compare 51 census, 2011 census. So tribals were at 44%, now they're at 28%. The Muslims have gone from 9.44, let's say 10%, viewers, to 22%. Others have also reduced or gained. Now let's look at the next set of numbers, viewers. And we are looking at West Bengal and the West Bengal-Jharkhand border. In 2001, 2.02 crores, 25%. This is a rise in Muslim population. And in 2011, 2.47%, 47 crores, which is an addition of about almost 2%, viewers, if you round off the number. In 2001 and 2011, in 10 years, in a decade, in the Bengal-Jharkhand border, you can see that number also increasing by about 2.5%, viewers. Then you look at the rise in Muslim population in West Bengal as a whole, and that, viewers, is at about plus 7 0.55% viewers in 10 years, from 51 rather to 2011. And from 51 to 2011, in the Bengal-Jharkhand border, it has grown from 9.4% to 22%, which is 13.29%. So Jharkhand has got a problem, viewers. It's got a problem. Now you can't deny it. Viewers, all of this will have a negative bearing on the culture of Jharkhand, because Jharkhand was really constituted to protect tribal rights. And if those tribal numbers are going to decrease, the culture, the overweening culture of Jharkhand will also change. And this has happened in the past, viewers. Where the Hindus haven't been in this country in a majority, there have been problems. There has been strife, or at least there has been an assertion. Kashmir is a living, breathing example of this, and I don't want to get into other areas of this country because, viewers, these are sensitive issues and I don't want to sort of create tensions. But all of this fundamentally makes us ask some basic questions. Why is the India bloc in denial about demographic change? Look at China, viewers. Not that I'm advocating anything like this. But China knows the dangers of demographic explosion which will undermine the national character. So in Tibet and Xinjiang province, viewers, they have settled by force, and they can do it because, as you know, that's a communist dictatorship, Han Chinese, so that these areas become integrated with the mainland ethos. In Kashmir, in the valley, viewers, the opposite happened. Hindus were externed, as you know. And the character, it has to be said, has changed in the valley. At one time, it was all inclusive, subscribed to Kashmiriyat, the glorious inclusive ethos. Today it no longer does, viewers. Islamist separatism has taken hold, and the overarching desire among some of these individuals is to turn it into a caliphate where the Sharia law will hold. But viewers, one would have thought that with this living example, this living, breathing problem that stares at us in the face, our political class would have been a lot more sensitive to this issue. But it isn't. Is it vote bank politics that is holding them back? Is it because these people who are settling in are easily processable? You give them a few documents and it has happened. And viewers, in Bengal, we actually verified on the ground. We hit the ground running and we did an exclusive report, and there are some facets of that report that have also come up, and we're going to try and get those graphics for you with those visuals of that report, which will show you in alarming numbers the change in demography in Bengal, viewers. In Bangladesh, this is a crisis. But we will show you those numbers from Bengal shortly. We had done a whole report, viewers, and they will shock you, but that in a little while. In a little while, viewers. Let me open this up. Sanju Verma is there with us. Kamru Chaudhary is there with us. Ishkaran Bhandari, Tausif Khan. Let me begin with you, Mr. Tausif Khan, first of all. There has been a huge concern over demographic changes in Bengal. Yet the government there is in denial. Many occasions, Mamata Banerjee has gone out and said this is fear-mongering. The best way of determining who is right, who is wrong, is to have an NRC. Any Indian committed to the national cause would want to know if the state's resources are being glommed by individuals who are illegally settled in this country, at the risk and at the cost of the indigenous Indian. But it appears that even on this issue, the Bengal government has a problem. They don't want to have an NRC. Why, sir? Why is this the problem? Who are you shielding?
Rahul, you are mixing two things.
Okay.
First is, yes, demographic change in Bengal is happening, and most of it because the the Indian citizens from Bihar and Uttar Pradesh and states, neighboring states, have come to Bengal, have come to Kolkata, and that is one demographic change that is happening in Bengal. Secondly, the borders have been opened, which is manned by the BSF, and BSF reports to the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah. It is for the BJP's Home Minister Amit Shah to answer why have they opened the borders, why are they allowing, what is BSF doing, and allowing the so-called Hindu Bangladeshis who are being persecuted in Bangladesh. Is this the way forward? Does he have the authority to do so?
I'm just asking you a question. I'm asking you a question. Amit Shah has been Home Minister. One second, sir. Amit Shah has been Home Minister for about 5 years. The numbers we are talking about have not certainly arrived in last 5 years. The NDA has been in government for 10 years. The numbers that we are talking about are of a census, sir, last conducted in 2011. And you are seeing those dramatic changes. No, 1 minute, 1 minute. No, I'm just talking about data. I don't know what has happened. I don't know what has happened till 2021. No, please.
You are saying that there should not be any problem.
I have not finished. Did I speak over you? I didn't speak over you. I didn't speak over you. I never spoke over you, sir. Give me at least a little bit of courtesy, sir. Please, as I give you.
The floor is yours. Okay. It is my time to speak and you are interrupting. I am saying that Amit Shah, BJP is opening borders for Bangladeshi Hindus from last 10 years to enter India. Is that acceptable? Is that allowed? Is it legal? Why is BJP, why the BSF has opened the borders, Bangladesh gates? They have opened, allowing all the Hindu Bangladeshis from Bangladesh to come to India just because there has been a regime change in Bangladesh. That is not justified at all. Secondly, yes, there are citizens of India from various Uttar Pradesh states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar and neighboring other states who have come to Kolkata, and that is perfectly legal. In search of work, in search of better life, if they are coming, and it is the likes of Hindus and Muslims and all religion people from India are coming. Because Bengal attracts people. Bengal offers peace.
Yes, because in Bengal One second. Now you've spoken.
Why Bangladesh border is opened by BJP? Why allow this Bangladeshi Hindus
to
flee from Bangladesh?
One second, Mr. Tausif Khan. 1 second. Let us not play ducks and drakes here, okay? Right? We are looking at the 2011 numbers. Your own government denies there's an influx, and I have enough quotes here. I can quote Mamata Banerjee ad nauseum. We can spend the next 25 minutes. I won't finish with the quotes, but let me tell you one thing. A simple solution to find out who is the NRC. Why do you stop the NRC? Simple question.
No, it's a public declaration.
My dear friend, I'm asking you, why do you not want the NRC? Why don't you want the NRC? Excuse me. I'm asking you a simple, straightforward question. Are you not going to answer it? If you don't want to answer it, it's okay. I can't hold a gun to your head, sir. If you don't want to answer the question on the NRC, you don't have to. It's okay. I understand the compulsion. It's okay. Look, I'm not holding you to ransom. I'm not saying you have to agree with me. You have to hold that NRC.
NRC, we have an example from Assam. What happened to...
what happened? It doesn't matter. You have a problem with any immigration, right? You have a problem with any illegal immigration, whether it's Hindu or Muslim. One second. No, please. Now you're not letting me speak.
The former president of India's family is found to be in the list of foreigners after the NRC is conducted in Assam. So we know the result.
Sir, why in principle...
Why is BJP opening the border gates for Hindu Bangladeshis to come to India?
Viewers, no one has opened any borders. In fact,
may I come in?
When we wanted to... Excuse me, let me finish. Let me finish, sir. As you know, it's not a fenced border all through. We can't have a policeman at every or a BSF at every 30 yards.
So
let's not be foolish tonight. Let us be intelligent tonight. Let us be a little
Yeah,
evolved
let us be
tonight.
intelligent.
Now,
Who controls
the point
the
is, viewers, the point is, Rahul Gandhi wants a caste census. So he says the nation's resources must be distributed equitably. Surely the Congress, therefore, must want to know and ensure that the precious resources of our nation are not falling into the hands of illegals at the expense of our own citizens. But no, viewers, the Congress also opposes the NRC. The TMC also has a problem with the NRC. You have to ask yourself why. Sanju Verma, you want to respond to Tausif Khan? He has made the charge that under your government, people are just coming into this country in droves, in hordes. It's you who can't man your borders. Don't come complaining to Hemant Soren's state and accuse Bengal Chief Minister.
Rahul, as you know, I'm sitting thousands of miles away in the US. I hope my audio is absolutely fine and you can hear me loud and clear.
I can. I hope you're a legal immigrant there.
Where you are sitting.
No, I'm not a legal immigrant. I'm just here for a few months on study leave. I'm going to be back in India very soon in the next couple of months.
Okay.
I will be anything but a legal immigrant anywhere in the world.
You will have no problems passing the NRC if it is held or the census in America. Okay, great. Go ahead.
Okay. You know, Tausif, I've done a zillion debates with you and I've never seen you heckling. Why are you so rattled today? Please hold your horses. Let me finish, then you can rebut. I did not interject you even once when you were making some points which made absolutely zero sense to me and you were very incoherent, which is very unlike you normally. Let me first make a few things very... Oh my God, Tausif, please.
Okay, let her... I have asked those questions that you are asking. Did I not, sir? Let her now respond, please.
What I fail to understand, Rahul, is this, proclivity of the other side to come, lie rabidly, lie with impunity. They would even put Goebbels to shame. First and foremost, Tausif's reckless allegation that BJP has opened borders to Bangladeshi Hindus. He has not been able to substantiate this reckless allegation of his, despite you persistently asking him whether he can support what he has recklessly alleged. Point number 2, and I want to take you back to just very recently, May 2024. This is a report which was published by the Economic Advisory Council of the Modi government, which has said that India's Muslim population rose by a solid 43.15% in the last 65 years. That is between 1950 to 2015, which is the period which the report was studying. It pertains to that particular period of 65 years. And within those 65 years, between 1950 and 2015, lo behold, the Hindu population of India decreased by 7.82%. So basically, while the Muslim population rose by 43% in 65 years, the Hindu population was down by 8%. And we all know that between 1950 and 2015, for the longest time, who was in power, Rahul? It was not Narendra Modi. It was not Amit Shah who was the Home Minister. For the longest time, in these 65 years, out of 65 years, 54 years, it was the Congress or its alliance partners which were at the helm of affairs in India. So if there has been an absolutely disproportionate rise in Muslim population, and not all of that is organic, a large part of that supposedly is inorganic, who are we supposed to blame?
Yeah.
We are not supposed to blame Narendra Modi or Amit Shah. We know that it is the Congress which needs to take onus about this. Now my second point, and my second point is this. I think you've touched upon this, but I would like to reinforce. These are a few countries which are Islamic or have categorically stated Islam as their ideological foundation, both in their constitution, and they say this is our state religion. Afghanistan, Brunei, Iran, Mauritania, Oman, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Algeria, Indonesia, Turkey, Malaysia. And I was surprised to know that even the likes of Indonesia, Malaysia, Turkey, Algeria, till about 16th, 17th or 18th century, these were not Islamic nations. So in the last 2, 3 or 4 odd centuries, the entire demography has changed, and that indeed has led to a complete change in the political, the socio-cultural contours of these countries, which were not Islamic and today are rabidly Islamic. But most importantly, I would like to end by saying this, and I think we all must listen to this, because this is a very dangerous precedent and precursor of things to come. These are places in London or in and around London, suburbs, places in the United Kingdom. Westminster, Knightsbridge, Liverpool, Edgware Road, Marylebone, Hammersmith, Kensington, Chelsea, Fulham, Wandsworth, Brent, Ealing, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
These places today have largely a Muslim mayor. They are Islamic for all practical purposes. And I don't want to name the leader, but a very controversial,
Look, one second.
a very controversial.
One second, Sanju.
Can I finish?
One second. I just want to make one thing clear. One second, please, one second.
Talk about the Bangladesh border.
Mr. Okay, let's not become.
Who the hell are you to question me?
Tausif Khan,
I will say what I want to say. Who the hell are you?
Tausif Khan, please,
Who the hell are you?
please. I'll have
Who
to
the
lower
hell are you?
faders. Listen, I'll have to lower faders, and that's not a very pleasant thing. Come on, let's not be. I'm coming in. I've started making an interjection, and the reason is yours. Look, I have nothing against Indian Muslims becoming mayors, prime ministers, presidents, all of that. We are not talking about Indian Muslims here. One second, please. Mr. Khan, either you're going to heckle and I have to lower your fader. No, this is not right. Please, there are two other spokespeople here who haven't had a chance, and I have 6 minutes more on this debate. I've given you enough time. Please. Have respect for their time. They also make time like you. So I'm sure you have clients. They also have clients. Ishkaran Bhandari has clients. And Kamru Chaudhary has many other good things to do. So please.
So do I.
Yeah, so do you. So hang on now. Just a minute, viewers. Look, this is not about raising some fear psychosis about Muslims in this country. We are not talking about Indian Muslims here. We are talking about influx of illegals.
Exactly.
Yes.
That is what we are talking about. And we are only asking that, look, fundamentally, the High Court of Jharkhand, and I want to bring in Ishkaran Bhandari now, and also Kamru Chaudhary. The Jharkhand High Court, and please look this up, viewers, as we are speaking, on the 11th of August 2024, it ruled. It called upon the state government to identify quote-unquote illegal immigrants. It didn't say whether they are Hindus or Muslims. In 6 districts allegedly coming from Bangladesh. Now, how do you identify them? Are you going to ask them? The only way you can do it is by holding an NRC when you actually have a process which will have officials who will go out there and they will ask them for documentation, Ishkaran Bhandari. NRC is the way forward. Why do certain political parties oppose the NRC?
Rahul, historically civilizations have fallen to hordes of barbarians at the gate. In the modern context, we can replace the word barbarian with illegal immigrants. So what is the reality? First, for NRC, we have a campaign of Hum Kagaz Nahi Dikhayenge, and you have rightfully quoted the Honorable High Court of Jharkhand figure of how the population of tribals has gone down and how the population of minorities has increased when Jharkhand was specially carved out to protect the rights of tribals. So it is also the most vulnerable section of the Indian society given reservation by the constitution, which is facing the brunt and becoming reduced in the areas where they were in a preponderance of population. That is one part. The second aspect of this is, you please see this trend of Kagaz nahi dikhayenge, NRC nahi hogi, is now extending to Waqf, where they say for, Mr. Owaisi says for 1,22,000 or 21,000 properties, 1,12,000 may not have documents. So you do not need documents for citizenship. You do not need documentation of ownership of any land claimed by any institute or any board. Now you will come to, you don't need papers to vote in elections. You don't need papers to overwhelm the democratic fabric of India. Where would this trend of not showing papers stop? That is the second point. The third aspect of this is, which is extremely important, is who suffers the most by illegal immigration? It is the poor who suffer because their jobs go. It is the people dependent on welfare who suffer the most in the beginning because the state's resources get dispersed into these people. It is the unscrupulous politician who then give them documentations and try to destroy democracy from within by making people who don't have stake in Bharat becoming voters of Bharat and deciding the democratic mandate of Bharat. So it is an overwhelming threat, and that is why in one paragraph the Honorable High Court of Jharkhand has also made the Director General of BSF, Chief Election Commissioner, Aadhaar, Director of Aadhaar and certain other bodies as a party to the petition, because if this problem is not solved, unchecked immigration will result in overwhelming of Bharat. And last point, in Europe, you see what Hungary is doing. Even though EU fined 200 million, it says we will not take illegal immigrants, and if they want, we will bus them to EU headquarters. Or what Poland is doing, or what Italy is doing. The first duty of any nation is to protect its border, protect its citizens, and we cannot fail in that duty. We have to carry it out and see that every person in India is a legal immigrant or a citizen of India.
In fact, even Germany, viewers, has recently forcibly deported Afghans. You must know this, viewers. Mr. Kamru Chaudhary, are we going to be constantly in denial of this problem? And how do we, in your estimations, address this issue? First, how do we identify these people? And secondly, what do we do with them? Because the Congress government certainly is not interested. The opposition is not interested. Kapil Sibal has entered this particular matter recently of the Jharkhand High Court, moved a petition saying that this is a politically motivated intervention on the back of which the High Court has ruled earlier. Now those orders have been reserved.
Yeah, Rahul, thank you for coming to me. Basically, you see, let me remind you about an incident in history. In July 21st, 1993, under the Congress party that time, led by Mamata Banerjee, we led a massive revolution in Calcutta where many people lost their lives under police firing under the CPM government. What was the demand about? That illegal migrants from Bangladesh are coming and changing the demography, the voting patterns of West Bengal with and they need to have voter card. Without a voter card, Mamata Banerjee said, and the Congress party that time said that nobody should be allowed to vote. That was the threat in 1993, even when BJP was not even, I believe, a two MP party at that time. So the problem, the Congress party has been seized up from the very beginning. But the comparison to gaslight the present day immigrations, what are the geopolitical situation in the subcontinent as of now, needs a very big elaborate discussion, not a 2 minutes discussion. Because after the 1971 war with Pakistan liberating Bangladesh, there was a huge large scale migration into India. So 23rd March 1971 was the cutoff date to for those people who have entered India prior to the date to be eligible for Indian citizenship. And up to that it was okay. Now what's happening is that people are trying to gaslight the entire immigration issue with regards to the 1951 census and comparing it with
hang on. I'm only asking you,
no.
Kamru Chaudhary, let's come to present times. I'm asking you, is the NRC a solution, yes or no?
It cannot be an alibi to. It can wait. Let me.
May I quickly come in?
Let him finish. Let him finish. I need to move on to another debate. Yes.
Yeah, it cannot be an alibi to the illegal immigrants out here because 20 lakh people have been identified in Assam because of the NRC issue, who could not link up their legacy with the 1951 legacy data. So I, as an Indian, will want all these 20 lakh people to be deported out of India. Do we have a bilateral agreement with Bangladesh to deport? No. Do we have a refugee agreement with Bangladesh? No. Do we have a national refugee law? No. Does our existing legal framework and policy
Rahul, can I quickly come in with
this please.
Problem? No.
I don't want to spend more time on this.
What is the root of the problem? Have you identified the refugees and the economic migrants?
No, hang on. We'll only be able to identify the root of the problem when we get into an exercise to count who is illegal in this country, how many. Then we can come to the next stage. But viewers, there are political parties. Please, I just want to move on. I hope you don't mind, Sanjuji. I just want to move on because I've already exceeded my time here. The point is, viewers, we need to have an objective exercise underwritten by the writ of the state to find out who is in this country and why. And there has to be political consensus. Otherwise, viewers, jitni abadi utna haq, all these fatuous slogans will amount to zero and may acquire actually, quite frankly, a dangerous meaning. I leave it at this, viewers. Let's move on. It's very important that we address these issues in this particular story. The YSRCP chief and ex-Andhra Chief Minister Jagan Reddy's proposed visit to Tirupati temple has sparked a row. The TDP and BJP have asked Jagan Reddy to observe customs that are deemed sacrosanct by the resident deity of the Tirumala Tirupati temple. One of these customs is that while there is no bar from anyone of any faith entering the temple, they must do so only after declaring their faith. Jagan Reddy, as we all know, viewers, is a practicing Christian, but thus far he has visited Tirumala Tirupati at least on 3 occasions without adhering to this age-old custom. Now that he is proposing to visit the temple to, in his own words, wash the sins of Chandrababu Naidu, the state chief minister, for allegedly misleading the deity, the TDP BJP have demanded that if he is so concerned about the well-being of Lord Venkateshwara, then Jagan must sign the declaration to prove his devotion. This is what the TDP says. A person belonging to another religion, whether it be Christianity or Islam, if they intend to have a darshan of Lord Balaji, then they have to sign declaration stating they have faith in him. We respect all religions, but this is a custom. All these years as Chief Minister, Jagan never signed a declaration. He will have to sign it this time, or he will not be allowed to enter the temple complex, unquote. The rules are quite clear, viewers. Rule number 136 of the TTD regulation states, quote, non-Hindu visitors must voluntarily inform the administration about their religion, declare faith in Lord Sri Venkateshwara, and seek special permission to enter the temple, unquote. In the past, these rules have been assiduously followed. In fact, even former President APJ Abdul Kalam and ex-Congress President Sonia Gandhi made these declarations when they visited Tirumala Tirupati temple. They bowed to the deity's wish and signed the declaration form. In the past, Jagan Reddy has declined from signing the declaration. On June 2012, Jagan Reddy visits but doesn't declare his faith. In March 2014, Jagan Reddy refuses to sign faith declaration at Tirupati, and in September 2020, he also visits the temple but doesn't declare his faith. The question is, if Jagan Reddy says he would never act to undermine the faith of Lord Venkateshwara, why hasn't he respected the wishes of the resident deity? And if he refuses to, will his devotion be considered suspect? Let's ask these questions, viewers. Let's open this up without ado. Satish Reddy, General Secretary of ISRCP, is here with us. Ishkaran Bhandari remains, and so is Sanju Verma. Let me quickly ask you, Mr. Reddy. I have no reasons to believe that Jagan Reddy is not someone who has the best interests of Lord Venkateshwara. I'm sure he has. And I don't know why. I don't want to.
See, I don't know why.
No, let me finish.
No, I don't know.
Are you not going to let me ask my question, sir, please?
Yes.
I indulge you, sir. Please. I indulge you. 2 minutes of your time. So I have no doubt that he's a devout person. But I just want to ask you, why hasn't he in the past respected the wishes of the resident deity and signed that register to declare his faith?
No, in the past also, I don't know all of you, why you are so much interested in signing the book and all that things, signing the undertaking. Earlier, Sonia Gandhi has visited, Rajshekar Reddy Garu as Chief Minister has visited the temple for 5 years. All the 5 years, they were being given that clothes to the deities during Brahmotsavas. Even Jagan Mohan Reddy earlier has given the holy clothes to the deity during the Brahmotsavas. Today, why are you making it a special issue?
No, we are not making it today. It was an issue back then also. It was raised by the BJP back then. You can please look at the accounts. It was raised by the TDP then also, sir. This is nothing new. And it was in fact even raised by the Congress party, let me tell you. So, Mr. Reddy, I just want to ask you, Sonia Gandhi signed the book and declared herself a Christian. APJ Abdul Kalam signed the book, declared himself a Muslim in that register. I want to ask you, sir, why has Jagan Reddy not done so? Does he not respect?
No, you will see.
One second,
you will see tomorrow. Nobody,
the wishes of the resident deity?
Nobody has asked till now the families of Rajshekar Reddy, because Rajshekar Reddy was the Chief Minister.
Sir, I'm asking you. No, one second. Mr. Reddy, there is a clear requirement. I've read the rule to you. Why will Jagan Reddy not adhere to the rule? Is he some special case? Just asking you, sir.
Nothing like that. If the department asks him, if the TTD board asks him to sign it, definitely he will sign it.
But he was asked earlier, and he didn't sign it
earlier. He was not asked by the TTD board.
Sir, are you telling me that TTD? Okay. Are you telling me
in fact,
on oath
TTD,
tonight? Are you going to put your hand on your?
TTD had invited him to offer.
Put your hand on your heart and say that in 2014 March, Jagan Reddy was not asked to sign that faith declaration.
Yes,
Say
he
that,
was not. He
say
was
that
not.
in
He was not asked.
June
He was not
2012,
asked.
Jagan Reddy
He
visits
was
but
not
doesn't
asked by
declare his
anybody.
faith.
He was not asked by anybody to sign
Okay,
the
he was
declaration.
not asked by anybody,
And he
viewers.
I'm telling you, please listen.
Yeah, I'm listening.
And he was invited, and it is a regular affair for them. He and his father have visited Tirumala hundreds of times.
Okay.
This is not the first
It's very
time.
interesting, viewers,
So after
that they
so many
asked,
times,
one second, it's very interesting that they asked Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, they asked Sonia Gandhi, they've asked countless other Indians, but they haven't asked Jagan Reddy.
yes.
It is strange, isn't it, viewers? Think about that.
Yeah, definitely. If at all the TTD board comes and asks him, definitely he will abide by whatever
Okay. Sanju
statutory
Verma,
requirements
make
are.
your
coming
point.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, very quickly. Rahul, I always believe that the proof is, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Actions speak louder than words. Now, whether Jagan Mohan Reddy signed the faith declaration or not, or that particular register or not, even if we hypothetically say that, he was never asked to sign, so he did not sign. Let us keep that argument aside. Let us look at his track record. He became the chief minister in 2019, and there's this very interesting incident. The stories available in the public domain. He was attending a function at Delaware in the US, and he was supposed to light a diya, a lamp, and he refused to light this diya or lamp, saying that in his Christian faith.
I don't know what you.
Can I
Excuse
please
me, ma'am.
finish? Keep quiet.
No, madam.
I did not heckle you.
Just trying
I did not
subject
heckle you.
to an
Keep quiet.
unnecessary, unwanted
Keep quiet.
issue.
Keep
Who has
quiet.
been? No.
I did
Mr.
not
Reddy,
heckle
let
you.
him
That was
let
the
her
other
finish. You
part.
can respond.
Somewhere in United
Mr.
States.
Reddy, you
What
can.
you wanted to make?
Mr. Reddy,
No. What is
Mr.
the
Reddy,
point that you wanted
Mr.
to
Reddy,
make?
1 second. You
I'm
can
very
don't get
confused.
aggressive.
Fair.
Let him
This is
respond.
not
Then you can
She's
respond.
No,
Let her
please,
respond.
sir.
Then you
No.
can respond. I'm not going to
No,
stop
1
you
minute,
from
sir.
responding.
No, 1 minute.
No, what do you mean 1 minute?
No,
Let her
no,
finish
no,
her
no,
point,
to speak.
please. I will let you speak.
Rahul,
Give me
what kind of
30
debate is
seconds.
this?
Yes, go ahead. Make your point. Finish your point.
No, Rahul, I need my 1 minute. What do you
Yes,
mean 30 seconds? He's
Go
had a
ahead.
long
Make your
monologue.
point. Make your point.
Thank you. So I repeat, Jagan Mohan Reddy in 2019 refused to light a diya at an event in Delaware in the US simply because lighting a diya he felt was an insult to his Christian faith. Point number 1. Point number 2. There are more than 9,600 temples, currently in Andhra Pradesh as we speak. And during Jagan Mohan Reddy's time, this is also documented data. More than 2,500 Hindu temple trusts were either auctioned off at throwaway prices under the pretext that the state government of Andhra Pradesh did not have funds to maintain these temple trusts, or these temple trusts were simply shut down. And point number 3, and this is the most important point which your audience needs to know. The total net worth of the Tirumala Temple Trust is more than 2.25 lakh crore. The annual revenue of the TDD Trust is more than 5,500 crores. The sale of laddus alone makes a profit of more than 600 crores. And still these guys had the audacity to remove Nandini because they said that Nandini is charging us 800 to 1,000 rupees per liter of ghee, and they got in AR Dairy by flouting every norm despite the fact that AR Dairy was not even a profit-making firm, which is what you need to be
that's a slightly different issue, but let's stick to the point. Now, viewers, I've just done a fact check. Now, it's always dangerous to quickly do a fact check like this, but on my phone here, I've done a fact check and it says Jagan Mohan Reddy refuses to light lamp at US event. This is a Financial Express report, viewers, and there are other newspapers that have reported this. BJP calls him anti-Hindu. So it's not as if Sanju Verma is cooking up a fabrication. Now, Jagan Reddy himself said, yes, 1 second. This is just a quick response to Mr. Reddy here on the show. YSRCP said that, you see, it wasn't that. Ambati Rambabu said that it's a basic norm in the US to use electronic lighting instead of manual illumination due to fire safety measures, etc., etc. And all of this is being created by those people who are disgruntled elements. This is what he has said on record on this issue. Ishkaran Bhandari, you see, I want to ask you, because you've done some investigations in this, there is a legal mandate, in fact. Temples are allowed to have various customs, and they have to be enforced by law, isn't it, Ishkan Bhandari?
Absolutely, Rahul, and coming specifically to this case, if there is a rule which is there that you have to declare if you are a non-Hindu, then that rule being flouted once or twice does not mean that rule should not be enforced first. Secondly, why is that rule flouted raises the entire question of who appoints the trustees, who appoints the members of the board. Can the members of the board have the power to even make a request to the chief minister? That raises the third question. Why are temples not under the control of community but under the government? That raises the fourth question, which is what came out in the Laddu issue, that prima facie there is a laboratory report which says in the, forget the administration, it says in the most holy things there is a contamination going on. Now if that laboratory report prima facie is taken to be true, why are arrests not being made is my question. Why is that not leading to an investigation and people behind bars, and to me behind bars in terror sections, because it is the aim to terrorize a devotee that if I am eating prasad, it could be contaminated in the most I don't even want to use such language, in the manner which it has been contaminated. The third aspect of this is that this has to lead to freeing of temples from the administration of government. And lastly, everybody, whether you are a chief minister or the president of India, nobody is above the rules or the traditions of a temple, and if they want to go, they have to comply with it.
Okay. Kamru Chaudhary, do you think Jagan Reddy made a mistake in the past by not complying with the declaration requirement? And let me tell you, for your information, the only time this was waived, this rule was waived, was in 2020. The declaration was waived when Jagan's uncle was the chief of the TTD. So they waived aside a decades-old custom. And the TTD, as you know, sir, doesn't have a right on dictating rituals that are held sacrosanct by the deity itself, because the deity in Indian law is a living being. You know this. Now, I just want to ask you, there are also, of course, customs with regards to Muslim places of worship. And if they can be upheld with great sanctity, then why shouldn't Hindu temples also have the right?
There's a history to it, Rahul.
Okay.
I believe this is not a decade-old rule that has been implemented by the TDT, which was waived out in 2020. I was about to point out to you, but you only said it. That's good. But basically, you see, before the independence of India, during the British era, or when the Mughals invaded India, that rule was made into this cash-rich temples, I will rather put it that way, wherein the invaders do not enter the premises of the temples, loot the property or the wealth that has been stored out there, or the Britishers, mostly conceived to be perceived to be as Christians, from entering the temples. That rule was there. Now in a modern India 2024, why have such type of rules if it does not hurt the Asta or the Asmita of the temples and its devotees?
Okay.
There should always be a sanctum sanctorum of the religious places of worship. And I don't want to get into any sort of debate. If YSR was mandated
I'll ask you, because on that many people will ask you, Mr. Chaudhary. Yes, he should. I'm glad that you say so, because you say, why should all this be implemented? Of course, why should it be implemented? So I want to ask you, because in Islam, if I'm not mistaken, the halal can only be conducted by a Muslim. Why should that be the case? In modern India, jobs, these are important jobs. So the job of a butcher who's going to conduct a halal, it should be open also to Hindus, Sikhs, every other denomination. Why it should only happen for Muslims, reserved for Muslims?
There's a difference between the Islamic way.
You
know the soaps, you know, we call it as halal soaps. Do you know
so
what is that?
There's a difference between the Islamic way and of course the Hindus.
People what is a halal? Question people asked was, what is the meaning of a halal soap? Now I can tell you, you can see the prasad, what happened with the prasadam out there. In a halal soap, no animal fat is used out there.
No, I'm not talking about the soap. I'm talking about the halal process. That can only be done, the halal can only be done by a Muslim. Why should this be, why should this be sanctified, and why shouldn't a custom with regards to the temple have been done away with, just because times have changed? How can we have two different applications?
No, Islam is all codified. It's written down, the rules and regulations.
Okay. So
Hinduism is a way of life.
So the Hindu faith.
Hinduism is a way of
The Sharia
life.
law of 1957 is not
Okay.
codified.
Okay.
Some
This
people
is
can't stop
one
telling
second.
lies.
Ishkaran Bhandari wants to come in.
Sharia law of
One second.
1957
One
is not codified.
second. One second. Ishkaran Bhandari on a point of law. On a point of law. And I just want to tell you, viewers, that this particular issue on a point of law, viewers, I've done my homework because I anticipated that this would lead to someone asking this particular, making this particular point.
You're not fact checking him, Rahul.
Yeah, I have already fact checked him.
Rahul,
Unfortunately, viewers, one second. The Constitution of India, viewers, says, Article 26B, TDT has the constitutional right to manage its affairs of every temple, viewers.
Within the ambit of the law.
So within the ambit of the law. So if they say that
Yes,
you have to
that is
declare
the
your
most
name, it has to
important
happen.
disclaimer.
There is no codify and no codify and this and that. Yes, very quickly. Yes, very quickly, Mr. Bhandari.
Rahul, we saw how Mr. Kamruz was pontificating on why the need for such a rule, but the minute you asked him why halal, it is no, it's absolutely separate. Why Muslim personal law? No, it is separate. Yeah. Why halal? No, it is separate. Why waqf by user when you don't have documents? No, it is separate. That is the tragedy which we are living under, because any time you talk about equality, it becomes no, this is separate. Whereas whether it's freedom of speech on Hindu community,
there are double standards. I leave it at this. Thank you very much for watching. Coming up next, The Right Stand with Anand Narasimha.
पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री जगन मोहन रेड्डी 28 तारीख को तिरुपति मंदिर में पहुंचने वाले हैं, जहां पे उन्होंने एक क्षमा अनुष्ठान का आयोजन कर रहे हैं। मैं बता दूं कि इन्होंने जो अपराध किया, लड्डुओं के अंदर सुअर के चर्बी, फिश ऑयल मिला के जो अपराध किया, हिंदू भावनाओं को जो ठेस पहुंचाई, वो जो दंड है वो क्षमा योग्य नहीं है। वो कितना भी अनुष्ठान कर लें, वो क्षमा योग्य नहीं है।
As far as this controversy is concerned, all these political parties, like, whether it is TDP or YSR Congress, their major source of income is corruption. They're not collecting meager amount from people and not getting, money that way. The main source of income is corruption. Whether it is in the name of God, whether it is in the name of road, whatever it is the corruption is the main source. So that makes no difference between YSR Congress party or TDP.
Jagan Mohan Reddy is planning to make this trip to the revered Tirumala temple, and as my colleague Swastika was mentioning, he is doing that to seek atonement. He is seeking forgiveness. Why is it that the BJP government and the TDP is asking for him to sign a formal declaration before he enters the temple premises?
Because in 1990, as per GO Order 311, it is very, very clear that anybody who belongs to other faith or dharma or religion is supposed to give an undertaking.
Okay.
That in Lord Venkateshwara, and they have faith, and only then they're supposed to enter, which has been very respectfully accepted by our late President Abdul Kalam. Okay. After that, who are the two great human beings who violated is Jagan's father, Y.S. Rajshekar Reddy, and the great Italian lady Sonia Gandhi. Okay, now I come to the next point. These people have come in power in 2019 May. Typically within a very short period, Jagan's uncle yani Chachi ki husband, Chachaji, this person has been deployed as chairman TTD.
Right.
The first thing he has done is removed the GO. Words they not have to give an undertaking. Now, who the hell he is? How can he just, as it is, he doesn't belong to our faith.
Right.
Yani ki Hindu. He still has been given a post. In fact, he is supposed to sign it and then enter into his position, which he did not do. What is the interest? See, basically, why do you make chairman of any under endowment and Hindu institution, such as Sanatan institution? That they work towards the development of the temple. What is the conspiracy I'm questioning that he reversed the undertaking? That's the first point I want to question.
Right.
Now, second point.
CNN News 18 Town Hall returns to Mumbai, the thriving hub that embodies India's bold ambitions. As the nation's top voices converge for powerful discussions and candid conversations, the spotlight turns to the NDA, fresh off a historic third-term win, and their resurgent challengers who now face a crucial test in Maharashtra. Experience India's most influential forum, where the national agenda is shaped. CNN News 18 Town Hall, Mumbai. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. onwards.
Mr. Jagan says, Chandrababu Naidu ji has got the report of the ghee that has been returned 18 trucks. Fair enough. Then where is the report of those 18 trucks ghee that has been sent back? They reached Tirumala and they've been sent back.
Right.
Is there a testing center in Tirumala? If there is a testing center in Tirumala, how quickly have you have come up to a decision that it is adulterated and you have sent back? Because now that it is a proof that they have been sent back, show us that test report. First point. After that, the trucks which have come with a new ghee, did you again test back? Because you're already burnt with the news that it is adulterated ghee. Then there is a new test report to tell that you've got
fair enough, Madhvi ji. I wanted to ask you, with these revelations of the shocking use of inferior and substandard ingredients into making something that is so sacred and respected, and the alleged use of adulterated ghee in the preparation of that sacred laddu is not just a disrespect to Hindu sentiments, Madhvi ji. I think personally to me it's a disrespect to someone's faith, it's a breach of trust. But while the BJP is going all guns blazing and targeting the former chief minister, what about the role of the TTD? I mean, shouldn't they be held accountable as well? Why no questions are being asked from the board? Doesn't the buck stop at them? Aren't they responsible of ensuring that the most pure, authentic prasad is served to devotees?
Okay, I will ask you one simple thing. The chief minister is the head of the state. Unfortunately, we Hindus do not have a different autonomous board. We all fall under endowments. And under TTD, the chairman is a Christian. EO is a Christian. All prime members are Christian. To keep up the Hindu sentiment. And apart from that, if you know, please, you are supposed to now let everybody know about this. TTD, very prime people have done an investigation and figured out there were 44 non-Hindu believers who belong to another religion. What is the use if the power which has to take up this itself wants to curb it? That's the dirty politics, right?
Former Chief Minister Jagan Reddy is going to be visiting Tirupati, is going to be visiting the temple. The BJP and the TDP have now upped their ante against him. They say that before he enters the temple, before he takes those steps that go up to the hill temple, he should sign on the dotted line as far as a declaration of his faith is concerned. That is something that he hasn't done in the past because rules were bent for him when he was the Chief Minister, is the allegation that the ruling government there is making. Meanwhile, we're seeing several other leaders, including that of the BJP, making a beeline to this particular temple. Madhvi Lata was one such leader who